Economic eclipse. From Starbucks to Sawbucks, and from Shopify to Horrify. Stop printing that money. Or, well, maybe they can't do anything about that. Too deep into the fix, eh? But it doesn't hurt to ask. Or maybe it can. Maybe they'll just censor us. No, but seriously, this is possibly the worst for stocks and sticks for big tech. Amazon, Shopify, demystify us already. What is the meaning of this mischief managed, Harry, my boy? Well, it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. New investments be forewarned, the experts say. Yes, the experts. But perhaps CVCs, this time for innovation in startups, could be your big Q. Come on, man. Investors are realist. Buy from pessimist and sell to optimist. Or are we being too primitive now? Well, if you're a true pragmatist, what works is what we ought to do. But you've already invested the myriad of narratives floating around out there, like it were some quasi-pseudo-supervirus infecting your mind with either recipes of fear or delusion. Now then, let us a-walk, Harry, and dispel this perplexity of the doldrums of our times already. Feast your eyes upon this emblem of luminous grandiose. Herr Doktor's got a new fix for you, and we call this one success. Onward then, yes, let's get the ball rolling. Now then, have you considered evolving your business model? Spending 99% of your hard work on incubators? That's nice for sandwich shops and ice cream parlors, but by the time this article makes par in your global reports, VPM will catapult into a stratosphere of Web3. And look, I'm not being partial here. I'm not even being spatial here. We're talking mind stuff, because mind stuff is what VPM's presence is on any network, medium, Web 2+, or otherwise as a spatial web resident. The occupancy of your thoughts is my business to know, albeit it's my business to influence. But enough of this merriment already. Let us kick Ubik 2.0 aside and unleash creativity en masse for Web 3. A motivating article posted in the WEF spelled it out in plain enough English for us. That being, the incubator should invest in startups to build back better. And yes, Mr. Munson, they are speaking of economy. Precisely, my boy. So, if CVCs won't step up to bat, and if companies refuse to evolve existing business models, then we don't have much to fight inflation with. Machine learning? No, not quite enough. AI isn't exactly the fix-it-all, though its many applications do seem promising. And they are. There are many good things for AI. Oh, I'll spit it out already. I've been saying it a number of ways and on different levels that we need to think outside the box. That goes for both psionics and business models because, like I've said it before, no, not a dozen times, but once, which should have been sufficient, the model is the reality. Sound too metaphysical to you? Excuse me, let me go pour myself a mug of strong coffee here so I can find patience enough to deliver the message that you need to receive. All jesting aside, it is about time to transform how we work business, our business models, from a 99% routine jig to high-octane overdrive creative combustion time. A kid playing Roblox could get the job done. So it's time to think like one. Besides, everyone that you're selling those video games to does a better job of thinking that way for us. But they won't come up with new ideas if they're just repeating same old play for free or doing nada, zip. Socializing for free in games is clever data sourcing, I'll admit. And sure, data is big moolah, but even with all the data from every person on the planet, if you're pitching AI, that isn't enough to train artificial intelligence, machine learning. No, not quite enough. And to get the synthetic data, you'll need to have, well, out of this world mad scientists like Herr Doktor to motivate the right team players. So what's your next move? But wait, and don't pass out just yet. I have more to tell you. It's not about the money, it's the message. Correction, it's about the reality, which brings us back to the model. While eventfulness and spectacular dynamics of technology have their exceptional parts to play in the delivery of this model transformation, and to each business its own, I suppose, there is lacking in the myriad tech junkies to be found a singular aspect of collaborative story-driven narration. You need a mascot, son. And I ain't pushing no nickels for a dime here. I'm talking about the overall joy of the campaign and the life force beating inside the containers, y'all poised for the TechCrunch centrifuge of cosmic techie grandeur. And if we haven't got it right now, after 10,000 rows of Christmas trees, then I'm a digger Indian. In very simple, and I mean in no uncertain terms, dear directors, I can bring your projects to life. Yeah, like a Frankenstein. No, truly, the acceptance of the plan is greater than the details of what Mr. Musk thinks he's been eating in his soup today. And whatever he might have been smoking, and maybe it isn't even soup he's having, but people will dogpile on that there thread. Why? Because it lives. It is alive. The audience contributing to whatever puts a gleam in their eyes, the essence of a Musk journey. And when it comes to selling brain-to-computer or EEG wearables, I see no reason to detract from this dictum. Albeit, you'll want a better dressed mad scientist than Buck Rogers Rocket Boy panhandler for Mars if you want to get them all flooding into your platforms to buy your products instead of throwing it all away on doggy coins. But they'll do it if you let them. That's something to scratch your head about right behind the ears, because if you do, if you do not get my pitch right now, you'll be the ones fetching all the sticks while Rocket Guy or even Beanon spies out your companies. For God's sakes, try something new. We know the old faces already. Stop trying to reinvent Spider-Man, even if he is a multifaceted webhead. Can Spider-Man come out and play? I love that line. But I'm calling for originality here. Or perhaps a classical twist of old school villain meets Morpheus on your platform. Not the other guy's omnipresent satellites. Maybe something altogether different. And more importantly, maybe something better than a retro game space shooter and a never-ending story off-world. What you need is a little Herr Doctor at your next coffee table roundup. The good doctor will be expecting you. Vrilock.com. Keep the magic high. This is Herr Doktor signing out.